Hello and welcome to AP Physics C. I am Seth Clerget. I will be the instructor for this course 2020-2021. This is my fourth year teaching this course and my 12th year in education overall. Physics C is the AP calculus-based physics course. We teach here at BBHS, we teach both AP Physics C mechanics and electricity and magnetism. So it's two separate courses um, technically, and it's scheduled that way on your student's schedule. All right, so the first semester, um, classical, classical mechanics is going to include things like motion, Newton's laws, gravity, um, oscillations and springs, rotation. And then in the second semester, electricity and magnetism, we talk about electric magnetic fields and a lot of circuit-based concepts as well. The exams themselves, because it's technically two courses, it's also two exams. Okay, so they are scheduled back to back, much to most students and my chagrin. They're scheduled back to back on the first day of AP exams. They have been the first day, I think. Now this is 3 out of the last 4 years. One year they were the week after. That was nice, but we get what we get, and we're going to get in everything before May 3rd. You can see there the breakdown two 45-minute sections. They are equally weighted. All right. Throughout the year, I try to offer the most authentic experience of those exams as possible by giving those sections and timing them out, requiring the timing so the students can really feel um, the pressure of that time, I suppose, and really feel how quickly they need to be able to progress through these exams. Uh, what we tend to find is that they've been taught, rightfully so, to sort of take their time in analyzing questions and problems, which is correct. Unfortunately, uh, we're faced with having to adhere to this exam situation as well. So we try to give them that practice as much as possible. Um, and they've done very well with it in the past. So there's a bit of a before I move on to that, there's a bit of a stigma on the class as being one of the hardest, if not the hardest, AP course that is offered. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think it sort of depends on who you are and what you're interested in, why you took AP Physics in the first place. I could see it being very hard for somebody who is not interested in the areas of math and science, of course. But most students do very well in it. So despite having the stigma of being very hard, it also has one of the highest um, 3+ rates or pass rates um, in in AP. And that's just, I'm not talking about at BBHHS only, but in fact nationwide and worldwide, it has a very high pass rate, something like 80 to 85% of students who take the mechanics exam pass it, and something around, it's less for E&M, and I always forget the exact number, but something around 70% for E&M get a 3 or higher, which is quite good when you look at some of the other pass rates. Resources. We have online and hard copy books. I encourage students to take both. The hard copy books are quite heavy, and so that's a nice thing to be able to take home and have there. We tend to have a few sitting around in the room for use too, although this year with COVID measures and things, at least for the semester, that those will not be available. So I really encourage everyone to take one and have their own and have the online access as well. Anything that's announced or needs to be linked or what have you, any assignments, labs, etc., will be posted through Google Classroom. We're really trying to stay in two major platforms this year: Progress Books for grades and Google Classroom for everything else. So Google Classroom is going to be the portal and the gateway. If you need to go to, if the student needs to go to, say, Edpuzzle or Flipgrid or Edulastic or one of these other many wonderful resources and online platforms you've heard of, that will first be linked through Google Classroom. Okay, so it's always the first place to go. Um, Trying to streamline that as much as possible. Most of these applications we're using this year also have one-click registration with their Google email account. So their school email account, they can simply go to this website, click sign in with Google, use their Google account, and they're in. No extra passwords to remember or anything like that. So I'm hoping that will be a very nice experience this year, an easier experience. Should be good. So talked about some of these. We probably use all of these, especially this first semester. And it's just good. It's just good practice to have some of this sort of flipped around for the folks at home when they're remote. Okay. Math. Got to talk about math. This is a math-heavy class. We kick it right off the bat by doing some calculus in the first chapter. A lot of the students have not taken calculus yet, and that is okay. They need to be in calculus now. We will learn some calculus things, before they learn them in calculus class. The students have always been very good. Those students who have already taken some calculus have always been very good about helping out the students who are just starting it. We try to take a little bit of time, and I try to post some things to help them kind of learn the basic things that they need to know math-wise in order to attack the problems in front of them. The nice thing is we don't use much complicated calculus until second semester, so that's good. And they pick up on it and they help each other out, and it's really a good thing to see. So they will be fine with that as well. Okay. That being said, however, if they do have a problem, and you know they're at home and they're saying, "Well, this physics makes sense, but I just can't do this math or whatever," and you hear that, I need to know that ASAP. Um, it's easy to nip a problem in the bud if we get it when it's in the bud. Once it starts to flower, then it's a bigger issue. All right, I tried not to talk too much. I'm sure there's other questions. I'm sure there's other concerns. Please email me with anything that you have, and I will get back to you. I expect as this semester, especially in this year, goes on, there will be a lot of questions um, coming around. So don't hesitate to send them out. I welcome them. If you foresee problems that maybe you think we haven't considered, please send me that as well, and we'll we'll get back to you and see what we can do about it. Thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to this course. It's always a really fun course to be a part of and teach, and I think the kids get a lot out of it. Looking forward to starting off and seeing everybody here.